We believe that innovation, new ideas, new projects, new products often are created when different cultures meet, different industries meet. So we decided to start something we call soft landing, where we help foreign companies to get established down here in south of Sweden. And we have different services. So either you can stay here for a month, 2 months, 3 months, get to know the market, but not only in Sweden, the whole of the Nordics. And we call that Discover Sweden. We also have Startup Sweden if you really want to get your company down here. And we will help with everything, the registration, the recruitment, if you need to find somewhere to live, schools, everything you need. So the point is, you can call Media Evolution and say, we want to take a look at the Swedish market. Then you can take Discover Sweden or you can take Startup Sweden, and we will actually help you with everything. That also means we will help you start up. Because of our members, we can match new companies arriving to Sweden with our members and other industries, which means that the lead time before our business start getting the investment back will be much, much shorter. And there will be a network, so you will get a network of people from the start once you just place your feet down here in Sweden. And our Swedish companies don't have problem because we know we have to grow in the south of Sweden. And one way of growing is actually getting in more companies. That will also mean that you will get more customers because you collaborate between companies even though you're in the same industry. So it's actually a win-win, both for international companies but also for the Swedish companies and even for people living in the south of Sweden. And this is a strategy for the whole of the region. So the whole region is into this, trying to get more people to both live here and work here. For some time ago, Malmö was only a city with harbors and hard industries. But as we all know, time changes and the harbor wasn't so fortunate, so they had to cut down and Malmö needed to do a change. So Malmö went from hard industry and harborship or the harbors to a more knowledge region, and this is growing today. And it's very hard for people to change, but I know, or I can guess, it is because when you don't have a choice, I mean the harbors were cutting down, the industry wasn't working, then you have to do something, otherwise the south of Sweden would have been dead. So I think that why people have changed is because they had no option, actually. And then when you give them the opportunity, okay, we cannot be the industry anymore, but we can do something else, people will accept it because there's no choice. I mean, you need to work to get money. You need to live here. So that's, I think, the change of focus, but also because we had already from the beginning one of Sweden's oldest university. I think they helped us a lot as well. It's becoming more and more a knowledge region because we don't have any hard industries down here. We don't even have very many farmers, which is one of the developments of the south of Sweden. And then the bridge is of course between Sweden and Copenhagen is also very important because that means Sweden becomes very close to the rest of Europe. You only have this bridge and it only takes 20 minutes to get over to Copenhagen. It also means that lots of people from Copenhagen today come to Sweden to work. They live in Copenhagen, they work in Sweden, and we have the country as well. We have Swedish people living in Sweden, working in Copenhagen. They make this region much more easier to reach, much more easier to live and work in when you're not being a Swedish person. And then for my own choice, it was because we had Sony Ericsson here, which is telecommunication. We had a couple of big media companies. And that was my choice because I wanted to be in the region where knowledge is the most important industry. So Sony Ericsson brought people here. Ericsson brought people here. We have the whole medical industry. We have big companies down here. And this is what brought people. So I think Malmö has grown, one of those cities that has grown extremely the last years. And this is those companies, because of those companies. And I think that will continue. And that will also bring other smaller media companies, because they know that the big companies will need publicity, they will need film, they will need webs, they will need digital media in all kinds, which also brings the smaller companies. And when the smaller good companies come, then the bigger ones come, new bigger ones come. And this is an ongoing process, which we can see today. So small companies come because of the big companies, and then the big companies think, oh, but I need to be where it's knowledge region as well. So we get more bigger companies coming.